Hi, Year Nines. It's Mrs. Ravita here. I just thought I'd have a chat with you um, about your assignment and see how you're going. Today, we're going to start on part C, which is analysing your results. Now, I know some people have finished the survey and have got their results back. Some people are a little bit behind. So just keep on doing the best you can. If you still need me to check your survey, please send it through and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Those that have finished their survey, I just have pulled up your Schoology page here and I just popped down an example of a pie chart so we can have a little look about how we're going to analyse our results. So this is just an example of one about how much money people are spending on different food groups in their family. So as you can see, the most money is on fruit and vegetables, which is a good thing because we like people to be eating lots of fruit and veggies. But you can see also, that it's pretty even all the way around. The least amount of money is actually spent on meat, fish, and other protein, which is a little surprising unless these families happen to be vegetarian, because meat is probably one of the most expensive forms of food that you would spend money on. So I would have expected that section to be higher. And I guess this purple section, which is food that are high in fat and sugar, to be lower. So these are all what we would call non-essential items, or eat moderately or eat in small amounts. So that's something that's a little surprising about this information here. So underneath here, you can see that I just had a little bit of a conversation about what the money is spent on. And I even posed a couple of questions, like what would a big amount of money, or why would a big amount of money be spent on snacks and drinks when they're the eat less category or your discretionary items? So I just put down, maybe people find these foods tasty and they're hard to eliminate, even though they know that they're not nutritious. So today I'd like you to focus on talking about your data. So let me just flip to someone's results here. I just pulled up one of your surveys here. So you can see here there's lots of really great information with pie charts. We've got here that majority of people were female, pretty evenly spread though. The responses are a majority of student information, and then similar amounts for parents and teachers. Someone asked how much exercise do they have in an average week. So the majority of people were exercising 4 to 5 days, which is fantastic. And then it's fairly evenly spread with the other days. So it's just about interpreting your data and looking at what are the extremes, like what's the most and what's the least amount. So types of exercise, walking and recreational sports like netball, football, tennis were really popular. And then you can see the other ones were not quite as popular. So these are the kind of things that you would talk about in your discussion. So, and there was a question there about the healthy eating guide. Most people knew what it was, which is good. What influences your food choices? This is something I want you to focus on a little bit. So family is a big one. So 90% of people said their family influenced their food choices. Then time, so how much time you have to actually cook, I suppose, or buy ingredients. And then effort, which kind of comes into that. Time and effort and energy are all sort of related as well. So good findings here. And then we are looking at serves of vegetables. So here we've got 3 to 4 serves of vegetables a day. Nearly 50% of people are saying they're having that, which is good. Obviously, we'd like to see that a bit higher. Hi everyone again. Sorry, I just had to close the door. So we're talking about serves of vegetables. And then we've got here serves of fruit in a day. So, a good half of the people surveyed were having the recommended 2 serves a day, which is great. So then you can talk about, well, what might stop other people from not having those amount of serves. Some people here are having far too many pieces of fruit, which is I guess the only problem with that is that you're getting a lot more sugar in your diet from that, and it probably means these people who are having 4 serves of fruit are probably having not enough serves of vegetables. So it's just, there's usually a balancing act there to think about. And if they're having more than 4 serves, what could they substitute instead of a piece of fruit? So maybe they could have some nuts to get some more protein. Maybe they could have some carrot and hummus to get some veg and some legumes in their diet as well. So this is what I want you to do for each of these questions that you've gone through. So going back to this Schoology page, there are 3 main categories of things I want you to have a little focus on. So talk about your data. What was the majority age, group, gender? So did you mainly survey females that were students, or did you mainly have, did you have a good range, a good spread of your information from different groups? So keep that in mind because that's important. How do people in our school community meet these guidelines? So you need to go back to your research that you did in part A and look at what are the important things of eating healthily and exercising, and then look at your survey results. So you'll focus on, your servings of fruit and vegetables in a day, how much water they're drinking, how much exercise they're having, and what types of exercise they're having. And are they meeting the recommended serves of fruit, veg, water and exercise? And then who influences the decisions on food and exercise? What are the common responses around this that you found out? And what was interesting about that? Was it family that was the main influence? Was it friends? Was it religion? Remember we talked about all of that at the start of the term. So have a go. It doesn't have to be pages of work. It just needs to be some important points that you've come up with. Let's look at if people have met guidelines, if they know about the guidelines, who influences their food, and please send me an email if you need any help at all. I'm here to help you. So I'd want you to submit by next week your analysis. So, you might want to pick out a few of those graphs or pie charts and the discussion questions and answers. And then the following week, we're going to come up with some recommendations based on your data and your research of what could be some really important things to help our school community in making healthier lifestyle choices. All right, so have a great week. Get out, get some exercise, eat healthily, follow these guidelines yourself because it'll make home learning a lot easier as well. All right, bye.